Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today Zach will be making for you the second element in our Captain Planet soap collection, and that element is fire. This soap is of course inspired by the Ring of Power fire from the Captain Planet series, and we of course wanted to embody the kind of zesty, smoky nature of the element of fire. But before we get to that, we do have to whip up our soap base. So that is our plant-based oil blend, some colloidal oatmeal, some sodium lactate, some lye water as well. And we've mixed all that up. And then we will add in our fragrance oil. And this fragrance oil is from Wholesale Supplies Plus, which is one we use sometimes, but not super often. And this scent is called Incense Oud, and it is smoky. There's some woody notes as well and some spiciness. And when we saw this scent on their website, we thought of this soap exactly, and we had to try it out. And it does not disappoint. If you liked the cannabis and cashmere scent that we had called Green Elixir from the Wicked collection, or we've had it just called cannabis and cashmere before, you will probably like this scent. It is similar-ish. It doesn't have the kind of cannabis notes, but it has that similar kind of muskiness that cashmere has in that fragrance oil at least, and it is a really good scent. So for this design, we wanted to be inspired by the colors of fire, obviously. And with that fragrance oil, we also have added in a nice Trial by Fire red mica. If you've watched our videos, you probably have heard me talk about Trial by Fire often, and that is because it is one of the best red mica colorants for soap. It is the truest red that we have found. So when you're thinking of like fire engine red or fire red, this is the red that you should use. We don't get paid to support Trial by Fire. It is just the one that we always go back to. The only kind of gripe with it is that it doesn't have a like metallic sheen to it. So it's nice to sometimes add like an ultra sparkle mica, or if you're like painting it on bath bombs or something, to add in some sort of like shimmery something. But that is okay because it is the truest red, and that is what we were going for here. So Zach has whipped up one whole batch of soap, and we are dividing that in half into two different slabs, because this is going to be a layered soap, and this is the easiest way to get very clean lines. The clean lines isn't necessarily the most important for this design, and you'll see what I mean here in a minute, but it still is easy. It also seems a little more efficient than making a single batch of soap and then breaking it off and then coloring each of the two separate sections. This way you can make one big batch, divide that up, make it a second batch, color that a different color, and then divide that up as well. At least when you're making larger amounts, that has been the most useful that we have found. Once Zach has portioned that off into the two slabs and kind of leveled it out a little bit, it is in the self-leveling stage because it's still fairly liquidy. He'll break out the bar spoon and do some nice spoon swoops. And this fragrance oil behaved beautifully. It didn't accelerate, it didn't rice, it stayed true to color, it didn't discolor the soap to any strange colors. The scent is a little lighter, but that's okay. We haven't tried it out in the shower yet or in the hand washing sink, so I'll be curious to see how it performs there, but I'm sure it's going to be great because Wholesale Supply hasn't steered us wrong yet. But you'll see here, it's setting up pretty nicely. This is maybe like 10-ish minutes into the soaping process, so quite a long time. And it really, if you're making one solid batch, this would be the perfect time to add that nice fun texture to the top. But since we are dividing this up, we wanted to add in a special additional kind of flair here, and that is to add in some of that celestial silver mica from Nature's Handmade. This looks really blue on this soap, and it does have a blue tinge to the mica, but in reality, it is a nice kind of silvery color, which makes sense because that's what the mica is called. This is one of my favorite colors. We've used it in the Galinda soap. We used it in the Wizard soap as well. And we used it in another one that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. It might have been Borealis as well. And I'll put a card up for Borealis in the corner there if you haven't watched that. But Zach's doing a mica line with it. So we'll just kind of use that tea strainer to get a nice layer across the whole slab. The thing with the silver line is that the ring from Captain Planet for Fire is silver with a red stone, I believe, and that is why we picked this silver color. Once we have that mica line down, we will scooch those slabs over and break out our second batch of lye water and plant-based oils and blitz those up as well. Just like before, this also has the colloidal oatmeal in it already. We will then add in the orange colorant this time. I did most of that off screen though, and also the fragrance oil, which is the exact same. We'll blitz this up as well. This is a nice orangey, fiery color also. This is just orange mica from Brambleberry. It is our go-to orange mica because it is a nice, true orange color that doesn't accelerate in soap. It's not prone to glycerin rivers either, which is nice. Some colorants are prone to glycerin rivers, which is frustrating when you don't mean them to be in your soap design. Once that is come to a nice light trace, Zach will break out the scraper there to break the fall of the soap because it is a little liquidy, but not too bad. Especially that bottom layer, it is nice and set up, so it shouldn't really matter about breaking into that lower layer, but you never want to risk it, especially when you try so hard to get a nice texture in that middle section of your soap. He will just portion off about half into each of the two slabs there, make them as even as possible. We will speed up the camera just a little bit, and we will scrape out the container once we have all of that orange soap goodness into each of those two slabs. Once we have kind of leveled it a little bit, we will break out that bar spoon again and basically replicate the texture that is in the middle of the soap. So the top of that red soap batter that we put in as well. So I'll just speed up the camera again because we just saw this fairly recently. Personally, to me, this is one of the more satisfying parts of soap making, especially watching, because you can kind of see that nice smooth texture. It is really satisfying. It's buttery. It is like the texture of maybe soft ice cream or like cake icing or something like that. This is my favorite part, especially when it is a behaving soap batter and not one that is taking forever to set up, or the inverse of that, which is setting up way too quickly, because that's no fun either. This is like the perfect balance of perfect consistency. We will duplicate that on the second slab as well, but I kind of sped through that also because we just saw that and I don't want to duplicate things too much. And then we will spritz this with some rubbing alcohol. This helps prevent soda ash. It's getting to the point in the season where this isn't a huge issue, but it's still a little chilly out, and we just find this is a nice level of insurance against soda ash on the top. It saves on steaming the tops of the soap as well, saves a step. We will then tuck this away for 24 hours, and then it is time to unmold and split this up, and you can see a little kind of glimmer teaser of the nice bumpy, fiery texture that Zach was able to achieve with that bar spoon and that perfectly textured, perfect consistency soap. And we get to see what the inside looks like, and that is exactly what we were going for. I'll put a picture of the Procreate sketch that I did on the side of the screen here. The only thing we didn't end up doing was fire stamps, because we didn't have a fire stamp and we didn't plan ahead enough to order one on somewhere other than Amazon, because we do not purchase things from Amazon any longer. But that is it. This is our fire ring inspired soap for our Captain Planet soap series. This soap and all others will be for sale starting April 1st online and in person, so check that out if you're interested. If you do want to get soaps, candles, or bath bombs of the month from us, check out our website rainbrocrafts.com for more details on that. We appreciate each and every one of our subscribers. They make this channel and what we do possible. I do want to give a big shout out to Felicia G. She is a returning subscriber. We are so happy to have them back. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video. Comment down below what power ring you would like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell icon also so you get notified when new videos get released. Thank you so much. Bye.